Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the Sofamanager Scottish Football Podcast. And on this week's show, we have a packed programme filled with all the usual features, including a little quiz I've prepared, and we'll be doing our predictions, presented by John and Sofamanager.com. They're up there now, actually, if you want to see the scores. We'll discuss them a bit later on. We'll also be discussing how Celtic did in Europe this week, whether it be good or not so good, against big spenders Paris Saint-Germain. We'll also be checking in on our season predictions, seeing how they're going, if we've kept up to date, if we actually know anything about football. That's not what the podcast is about, so bear with us. And we'll be reviewing some of this week's championship predictions and talking a bit about our beloved Falkirk Bairns and their poor start to the season. And after that, we'll hear from Darren. He'll be checking in on La Liga, telling us what's going on there. And yeah, so that's us, I guess, introducing our host. We've got DJ Dario G.
Hello, Paul.
Our regular Spanish expert. And alongside him, we've got DJ John Rankin. Is John Rankin a DJ? Who was that DJ? Was it? Oh no, it was just DJ Rankin, wasn't it?
The DJ Rankin.
DJ Rankin.
So I've combined a terrible Scottish footballer with an equally terrible Scottish DJ. Was he Scottish? I think he was Scottish.
Probably.
And myself, DJ Paul. I don't know any famous Paul DJs.
I don't know, was a Pope
No.
a DJ? I don't know.
But no. Well, it depends, actually. An MC I'd maybe say. Anyway, let's get started. Alright, so first things first this week. And we're not going to link the end of that last thing with what we're going to talk about now. Celtic.
Hooray!
They were playing a little known team called Paris Saint-Germain.
Who?
Yes. An allegedly good football team. Did anyone see it on the television at all?
I did that, yeah.
Watched a bit, yeah.
Just a bit of it. I caught the end of the game. I'm a Paris Saint-Germain fan myself. As I've said in the podcast before, I'm looking over to my excellent Paris Saint-Germain kit now, actually. The most expensive thing I've ever bought. £80. Anyway. Horrendous.
Now you're making money, it's fine.
Well, so of course, score in the end was what? 5?
5 squid.
5-0. It felt like 6 at points. It was absolutely insane. How do you think Celtic did, Darren? What do you think of the performance there?
I expected more from them, to be honest. I know PSG are playing really well this season. Now they've got all these Galacticos so on coming in, but it's still, compared to how I seen them last season, it was a mile off from how they done against Man City and even Barca. Like at home against Barca, yeah, they got beat, but they never got completely thrashed like they did against
Especially not at Celtic
PSG.
Park.
Yeah,
exactly. I would agree with that. What did you make of the game, John?
I don't think PSG never like overly. I wasn't impressed. As weird as it sounds,
That's the only man in Scotland that I've heard say that.
pretty much. I'm in a severe minority of one here.
I mean,
They were okay, but look at the Celtic weren't great on the night, and I still think when PSG come up against a bigger team in Bayern Munich, they'll be found out. I'm not overly convinced by them.
I mean, for me, I only kind of caught sort of the end of the second half. And what really struck me was that kind of pace of passing from PSG. It was just pop, pop, pop. And people have been describing it as Barcelona-esque. You know, from a few seasons ago when the kind of Messi, the Man City manager, what's his name?
Pep Guardiola
sort of era. And I was like, do you know what? Yeah, I can kind of see it. It maybe didn't have that fluidity. But, you know, some people were saying, like, if you were to time it, there was 5 passes in 1.5 seconds. You know, just triangle, 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 and it was just so hard to keep up with.
Yeah, you could see that.
But a Scottish team, far beyond any of our capabilities. But like I say, I'm still not convinced. I think there's some frailties in that team that a better team will expose.
What are these frailties, John?
Full back, I think you seen Roberts take 2 or 3 of those full back. They had to like double up on them, 3 of them, to try and contain them. Still managed to get around them. A better player, maybe Iron Robin.
They did steal the ball off them quite a lot.
Yeah, there was frailties that a better team would have took advantage of on the night. Maybe they'll up their game once it does come to the crunch, but I think they've been overhyped a little bit.
I mean, I was fairly impressed. They kind of blow hot and cold. I mean, it wasn't a sterling performance at the weekend, I think, against Metz. They kind of went a goal behind. So
then came back.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Wow, PSG," not really kind of thinking about what had happened domestically.
Yeah.
But yeah, just in terms of Celtic side, it was a real blowout, and some embarrassing goals I think were conceded.
One or two you kind of look at and you go, that could have been stopped maybe. Yeah.
I thought like
if they had a better centre back perhaps.
When Lustig, well, it could have been worse. Effie Ambrose could have been there. It was just when Lustig put the ball in the back of the net, you were looking at it going, oh, it's such a schoolboy. And like Ralston did come in front of him and he was kind of hopeless to do anything. But it just looked really embarrassing.
It did look poor.
Again, I summed up what would be the 4th or 5th goal of the night, you know. It was that kind of...
I know.
Just an unfortunate event, really.
And they looked kind of gutted, but I guess they just have to move on, pick themselves up. And what do you do? I mean, I think the rumours swirling around the average salary of a PSG player is what? I think 50 million a year. Celtic, I think it's 15 times less. But then I believe the Ross County average wage, who they were playing on Saturday, is 15 times less than Celtic. And you know, they beat them 4-0. So it's all kind of relative, isn't it? You know, they are the PSG of Scotland.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There is that stark difference. What will be the real test now is their away game to Anderlecht coming up in match day 2.
Well, that's the next point, I guess. I mean, do we see them taking points from this group?
Yes.
I go to Darren
against
first.
yeah, exactly. Against Anderlecht, I think they will actually have a chance. But against PSG and Bayern, I'd be surprised if they take any points off of it.
No.
They're definitely not going to get any away points against Bayern or PSG. I'd be very surprised if they can get a point against Bayern Munich at home. And Anderlecht is obviously the game that they need to be winning. So I think they could beat Anderlecht at home, but away, they've got a bad away record in Europe. So it's really it'd be a surprise if they won away. But then I have been watching a bit of Belgian football just to see like the sort of quality compared to the Scottish League. Yeah, I know.
Juniper.
I wasn't that impressed really, and I actually would compare it a bit to the Scottish League. There's not a lot of difference there, so I think they will actually have like a sort of close game against them, because the difference, I don't think's like there's not a big difference there.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Well, that was the point that you made to me the other night at our PlayStation headset. Very technical. Was that Belgium's the same thing. Anderlecht are just playing similar sort of team. I would argue that people like Bruges and stuff like that maybe a bit more of a challenge, but we'll wait and see. Again, Anderlecht a very unknown quantity to me, but to be honest, I can see them finishing bottom of this group again.
That's a possibility, but
I think they're just lacking in that kind of firepower. You know, the year they got to that last 16, like Hooper was a real instrument for them in getting a few goals. And, you know, Griffiths just on the big stage hasn't quite shown it yet. Dembele just coming back in today, not looking 100%. The boy Edouard looks interesting. He's very, very fast, but, you know, goal scoring, I don't know.
Time will tell. The biggest problem for Celtic at the moment is their defensive line is really depleted. I think I can understand why Rodgers didn't buy a new centre back, because he's got so many out injured, and when they come back, you know, what are you going to do with them all? He's unfortunately having to make shift, and Beaton does a job in the Premiership. Yes, he's hopeless in the Champions League, we found out, but you can't go out and buy a £4 or £5 million centre back to play in effectively 6 games.
It's really hard to come by a good centre back now
as well
these days, isn't it? If for that kind of money, especially. We of course saw
they could have got Grant Hanley.
They could have.
There's a reason why they never.
You're as well buying a striker to do some defending, I think. But I of course saw the kind of starting debut in the Champions League for it's not Anthony Ralston, is it?
I think it's Tony Ralston's
something along those lines. Thrown it at the deep end against Neymar, and he was giving him some of the chat.
What a character!
With the looks of things, so good man. He has that kind of tyranny, sort of fierceness about him, with the looks of things.
Yeah.
So I maybe one for the future there, but a difficult game for him against Neymar, of course, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, but he didn't know bad. He could have been Tony Nguyen and sort of subbed at half time type, but he held his own.
I was chatting to my brother about it, and he was saying, he needed to be there a bit more. He needed to kind of go through him, and I was like, well, if you go through him, you get sent off.
Pretty much, because he will play acting, make sure he gets sent off for it.
Exactly. And he was even giving it a chat after the game.
Like, I noticed that.
Neymar, you know, get back on the plane, play your Nintendo DS. I mean, shit on. Which they were doing on the plane over, by the way. Very jealous. So yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll of course support Celtic, because there's nobody else in Europe this year.
Very much.
Thank you to Aberdeen, Rangers and St Johnstone. Well done all of them. Which I guess takes us neatly on to our Premiership. analysis. We made some predictions at the start of the season. So I guess starting at the top, we all produced Celtic would win the league. They're kind of chuntering away. A draw with St Johnstone, though, a little blip in their radar. Does that domestic record actually mean anything if you're getting thumped 5-0 by PSG in midweek? I don't know.
It saves some grace, for sure. Like,
it does a bit. 58,000 there against Ross County today, which is
they're going to watch good football on a domestic front anyway. So you can't really knock that. It's a good support. To them, it's probably the challenge now to keep it going. This unbeaten record. To the rest of Scottish football, probably doesn't matter. It's a talking point, but
I mean, the point I've heard from legendary pundit Michael Stewart.
Oh yes, that guy,
who's universally disliked these days, it seems, was that they should be maybe putting 7 or 8 past a team like Ross County to kind of, you should expect that level from you. If you want to go and do something in the Champions League midweek, you need to just go out and absolutely pummel these teams into the dust.
I don't know. I think that's even disrespectful.
I don't know. I think it helps maintain that concentration, maybe a level of fitness that, today 4-0 could have easily been 6 against Ross County.
Yeah, I looked at the stats in that game. They had like 30 shots. So
yeah.
They had enough shots. It's just they've maybe not scored as many goals, but
a shocking conversion rate.
Yeah, exactly.
We saw it for France against Luxembourg.
Hell yeah.
So Rangers saving grace against Niederkorn. They're actually a pretty good national team, apparently. So no, we'll wait and see. But holding on at second at the moment, Aberdeen. That was John and I's prediction for second place.
Looking precarious.
Rangers.
I think it's looking very precarious. I think they're stuttering, they're faltering. The game today or Saturday, against Kilmarnock. 1-1 with a team that's
and that was at home.
A team that's really struggling. The Kilmarnock goal, Jordan Jones was actually really lucky. A big deflection of Carrie Anderson, but fully deserved. Again, we went to see the game at Murrayfield last week about football tourism, which we'll come to in episode 32. And the second half performance for Aberdeen it seems to be a big problem. And all these games going forward.
I mean, that game against Hearts was phenomenal. It was like you were playing with one centre back.
Well, looking at it afterwards, it seemed to be a 3-2-3-2, which is a universally unknown formation.
That's out the Craig Levine book.
Well, I think he's thought, do you know what, Hearts are really rubbish. We don't need 4 defenders, nor do we need the team to actually be symmetrical. We'll just play 2 centre backs and Shea Logan as a full back without really kind of covering. That didn't pan out entirely well.
The team was drawn out a hat that day.
Very much so. But under Levine, we have to say Hearts looking much more organised now, and I think easily top 6 contenders all of a sudden.
Eventually, I don't think they're going to score a lot. Certainly look at their previous 5 or 6 games.
And the Levine effect.
The Levine effect would be very defensive. But that might play into their hands to get in the top 6.
It looks very strong, very physical. Lafferty's knocking them in every now and then. Goncalves is kind of picking up as well. But
they look no bad.
They were really lucky against Hamilton. I thought there was just some absolutely shocking refereeing decisions. And if anyone apart from Rakesh Bingham played up front for Hamilton, that would have been a different story. The boy is an absolutely stinking striker.
Did Bobby Abbey not get on?
I think anybody. Grant Hanley would do a better job up front for them. The goal that Bingham got was actually a complete sitter. So he was never going to miss. Well, he might have missed it. That's the next thing. But the refereeing in Scotland this season just is bad.
Questionable.
It's very bad. It's not questionable. It's very bad.
Very bad.
Just a number of games, especially today. The Hibernian game in particular was filled with horrendous decisions. 2 Stonewall penalties not given, and the penalty decision they gave for Martin Boyle was not a penalty. But Motherwell still came out of that game 2-2, probably a fair result. Motherwell probably the surprise package of the league so far.
Yeah,
absolutely annihilated my prediction, that's for sure.
Well, we were all relegation. What, 4th? I think they're in at the moment.
Yeah, I look at Europe.
Aye, pretty much. And do you know what? To be fair, brought in a lot of young guys. They look hungry.
Got Molt too, so
yeah, Molt's an interesting one.
When we done that, we thought he was going to leave.
Yeah,
and then that was the only reason. I was the one that was looking foolish because I thought, obviously, you thought he was going to go, and I was the one that said, they'll be about 8th or something like that in the league.
See, my thing about Molt is you watch him and he does miss some easy chances.
Yeah,
but he still scores.
He scores the absolute wonder strikes.
Well, yeah, I know, but
It
he
catches the eye.
Well, there was one in particular against Hibs. He kind of peeled off the back post, totally free header, skies it miles over the bar, easy chance. I'm looking at him going, is this a 50-50 guy that you're going to take a risk on? And he's playing well at Motherwell. Would that happen elsewhere? Is he a 7-figure striker?
Absolutely not.
Well, I know.
$500,000 you would have had him, but I don't know. Scottish Premiership is about his level, and maybe Aberdeen would have been a nice fit at the time. If he moved into England, I think he would have lost his place completely. He would have came back up north with a tail between his legs, and probably a worse player as a result.
Yeah,
you see it far too often.
I think Motherwell can afford to lose him now. I really rate Graham Bowman, their other striker. I think he's good.
I think the partnership between the two of them looks good.
Yes, I agree with that.
And that's certainly helping Motherwell. And they look not bad at the back. I think even Stevie Robinson as a manager, I had no idea who he was last season.
No.
And you see him now and you see the kind of style of football Motherwell are playing. It's not bad. It's
doing a good job there,
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But, I still think they'll finish in the bottom half.
I don't know. I really don't know. I guess kind of switching gears, it's the bottom is rounded off by Kilmarnock and Partick Thistle.
But Partick have played well and they've played all the big teams. So they've now got the kind
They've had a tough start, ain't they?
The guff around them, aye.
Well, of course, now playing their games at the Energy Check. Is it Energy Check?
Energy Check at Firhill.
At Firhill.
So.
.co.uk. It's a weird email address. So they've got a wee bit of sponsorship behind them, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't mind it.
Pays for their training facilities.
Well, along with the lottery winners, which is handy. But we don't actually have that many interesting stadium names in Scotland, so why give it up?
Indeed.
The Falkirk Stadium's not that inspiring.
We're crying out for something to take that name away. I don't care what it is.
The Central Demolition Arena. That would be excellent. Come to Falkirk to get demolished. That would be sensational. Get them off the front of the kit as well, thank goodness.
I would take the Black Bull Inn Stadium.
Think of the logo. That'd be immense.
That'd be not bad actually, see?
Yeah.
I need to speak to Mary about it.
Well, I don't know if the budget is maybe there for the local
£50 and you're there.
I think we maybe need to go more often to fund this. But of course, the big game of the weekend was live on BT Sport. Partick Thistle against Rangers. 2 each finishing there. Rangers also faltering along with Aberdeen this weekend. They could have gone...
Could have been top, but had to score 4 goals.
Had to score 4 goals. Aye, so...
As I was told numerous times at work, let's go 4 goals. Okay.
Well, there was a big confidence going into that game, I think, from both the pundits and
there was,
the fans.
I was fairly confident Rangers would win that as well. And you get that full backing of the entire side stand. If you're sort of Rangers fans.
It was a very raucous atmosphere.
Aye.
Again, it's
I
kind
knew
of
a few people going to the game actually.
Did you?
I thought that would have carried them over.
I'm sorry, Darren, are they your friends?
Yes.
Rangers fans too. I kid, of course.
Just because you're an Aberdeen fan.
Yeah. I'm a Falkirk fan. I support all teams. Well, Celtic last year.
Celtic last year.
I just wanted some success. But Blair Bittle played a stonking game.
He looks really good.
Are we that surprised by that? I mean, we saw him turn out for Dundee United a lot last season. And I was quite impressed. I thought he was quite good.
I know he played alright for Dundee United, but he was playing on a very bad team.
It's a pretty poor team.
And he seems to have found a good level at Partick. There's some good players around him as well. So
yeah, he seems to have stepped up his level.
Aye, absolutely. It's a good move for him. A good move for Partick as well.
It's a solid club. A lot of guys have been there for a long time. You kind of know what you're going to get.
I mean, I wouldn't pay too much attention to their sort of results on paper. Their performances have been not bad, and like I said, they've already played. That's in played with Celtic, Rangers and Aberdeen. Have they played Aberdeen recently?
I think, one of the first games of the season.
Yeah.
So those 3 out the way, you've still got the kind of dross around them to play as well. So they'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, aye.
So their games against Dundee, Hamilton will be the real test.
Yeah.
And I'd be quite confident with them in that.
Well, how about Kilmarnock on the other hand?
Lol.
Rooted to the bottom of the table despite drawing with second place Aberdeen. Only their second point of the season.
Hopeless. I didn't even want to talk about it. I don't like him.
I don't know if McCulloch's got the right idea.
I think he's an okay coach. I don't know about manager.
I don't really like the signings. Like, they went into last year with, I think, 10, 11 new guys. But they were kind of fresh, young guys, and this is what Motherwell's kind of done this season, and it seems to be paying dividends. They signed
Lee Erwin was one of them that came to Kilmarnock, who I thought would be an excellent player, and he's he's not quite there. I think they're persisting with Chris Boyd too much as well, who seems to have found himself more of a pundit than playing football.
Well, him, Scott McDonald are all kind of making the transition at the moment, aren't
they're scrambling about for contracts at Sports Sound.
Well, I think they need to, because Scott McDonald was a ghost for Dundee United at the weekend as well.
Well, of course you were there.
I have to be contractually obliged. I think it was John Jones that got the goal for Kilmarnock. I think he's a cracking player. One of these skillful guys, runs at folk, very much the Mehdi Taoul or the Sonny Aluko, of the league that you want to see in their team. It's kind of exciting. But I don't like the signings of the likes of Greer, Broadfoot and, Burke, that kind of...
old hat.
That kind of drags them down a bit.
Yep. That's where the issues are coming.
That's the problem Falkirk had the season we got relegated. We signed the likes of Jackie McNamara, Neil McCann, Lee Bullen, all well past it.
Didn't pan.
Nah, didn't work.
That often is how it goes when you go for all these veterans. It seldom comes through, does it?
They look good in their prime, look really good in their prime, and you think, maybe there's a wee spark left, but trust me, that doesn't work.
Yeah. But Hibs kind of not where we thought they might be.
Neil Lennon's beginning to crack a wee bit.
The game at the weekend, he was saying, they played like under 8s.
Aye.
In the second half, I thought it was a bit harsh.
What, an under 8s or?
Well, I've not seen their development league squad yet, but they were quite good in the first half, I would say, Hibernian. But I think Motherwell fully deserved the draw out of that game. So, but he does seem to be that kind of hothead, in line with the hair colour, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wee ginger Irish. And that's maybe not the approach. Because
that approach will work to an extent, and then they'll begin to turn on him a wee bit. He's got to be careful.
You can't really flip-flop between... Because I saw after an amazing win for Dundee, 3-2 against St Johnstone, Neil McCann came out and was great, just praising these players. And he seems to be really good that way in terms of motivating the guys.
Yeah, he motivates the team to get the victories. Yeah,
kind of keeping that balance between... keeping them happy and criticising them, which Neil Lennon just came out and completely lambasted.
Annihilated them.
Lambasted his team. So, but then
it might work, it might not.
17,000 at Hibs.
Oh, aye, brilliant.
And you're looking at the sponsorship around the ground, and these are national companies.
Krabby's and stuff like that.
Well, Krabby's, Marathon Bet, Yokohama Tires, all these amazing sponsors, and a team that were in the Championship last season. It's absolutely... I don't understand, to be honest, where they found all these fans all of a sudden.
Well, they're an Edinburgh club, but there's a big kind of pool around the Leith area and that. It's understandable.
We've got a good fan base.
Aye.
Good away support for Hearts.
I heard there was a Falkirk fan in the Hibs crowd as well. I won't mention her name, but she was there. And I'm very disappointed.
We'll come to that in our football tourism section in episode 32. Tune in next week for Name and Shame.
I'm naming and shaming
the football fans that shouldn't have been at different games. I've been in a lot of trouble for that. So yeah, Hibs a bit disappointing. Dundee kind of ticking along a bit in St Johnstone. With O'Halloran back, seem to be doing quite well.
Yep.
A bit unlucky. I guess Dundee in a bonkers game of penalties and all that jazz. But so the league's kind of shaping up quite nicely.
Somebody's been no bad to watch as well. So Premiership's looking good.
Yeah.
Championship, do we really want to talk about it?
Well, we're going to talk about the Championship.
I'll get my coat.
Big win for Dunfermline at the weekend. Sees them go back top ahead of St Mirren. It's really, really tight at the top of the league actually at the moment. I think only a couple of points separate the top 6 teams after 6 games on the board. We are living in Falkirk, so we'll get to we'll get to that. So no good starts for Dunfermline, St Mirren, Queen of the South still up there. Dundee United haven't really burst out the gates in the same way as many hoped, which I think is bizarre because looking at they played Falkirk at the weekend and I was in attendance. And looking at the team sheet, there's first teamers throughout the bench as well. And Premiership names, Willow Flood, James Keatings, a lot of kind of big player names. And
none of them were all that good.
Well,
they're not gelling.
Nobody was that good that game.
Nobody stood out.
But yeah, they've got these Premiership names and it's
not gelling, is it?
I don't know if it's no gelling, they look like a Championship team.
Right.
And like when you saw Hibs didn't look like a Championship team. I think there was something behind Hibs that kind of...
There was a real drive about Hibs last season. There was, and you seen that especially when they got to the Scottish Cup final and the League Cup run as well. And you're looking at that, you're going...
Yeah, you felt they should have been in the Premiership.
That was a Premiership team playing in the Championship on a huge Premiership budget. the Dundee United.
There's such a thing as a huge Premiership budget, but certainly a much bigger than a Championship.
Comparatively, like they were a really big club playing in the Championship. Dundee United, you don't get that feeling. You don't have like pundits coming out and categorically stating, Dundee United, biggest club in that Championship, they're going to run away with it.
Well, now
they've touted to win it, but they're not going to like annihilate it. If you know what I mean.
I mean the Championship, is barely mentioned in people's predictions at the start of the season. People were predicting Dundee United and Falkirk because that's pretty much how it ended up last season. And Hibs out of the league. There's just no media attention on it anymore.
No, it's quite.
No.
Chick Young,
which we knew would happen.
I don't know why that happened.
Chick Young was at that Falkirk Dundee United game and he sounded dejected. He said it was absolutely awful. And after the game, of course, I got a picture from you, Dan.
Yeah, it's talking about the stats. I like my stats.
And the key stat, what was the key stat now?
Key stat was there was one shot on target in the full game.
Yeah.
To Falkirk though.
I'll take it.
It's weird because you're kind of sitting there watching it and you're losing sight of what football's actually all about.
Yes.
What are we doing here? Do you win games of possession? No. On horrendous challenging and poor passing? No. Jeez, I mean, just take a punt. I mean, you're not going to win a game without.
The wee sweet rustling and.
Well, exactly.
Get the Haribos up.
Well, there's always Haribos on benches in Scotland. Get some sponsorship in Haribo.
Yeah, what's all this about?
We'll have some Star Mix. Is that Star Mix?
Yes.
Is that a thing? Yeah. That'd
Only
be great.
one on your badge, you get Star Mix and then.
But no, I guess the kind of real shock start to the start of the Championship season is our Falkirk Bairns.
Shocker.
Rooted to the second bottom place in the table. It was very nearly bottom for a while with Brechin leading Dumbarton for a while.
We were bottom for a while, that was.
Weird thing about Dumbarton is it's in Dunbartonshire.
Aye, and they play in the Stirlingshire Cup.
What? No, but why is it? It's Dumbarton and Dunbarton.
Guy was dyslexic.
Why is that? Well, that's what I thought. I was like, who? Like, did they misspell
That's
something?
strange, yeah.
Just like that. But so they very nearly could have been bottom, which for a team the size of Falkirk in the Championship is not a good thing.
Well, it's pretty bad. You can point the blame whoever you like. All of it. Like, well,
I mean, a lot of issues with Falkirk at the moment. There's a lot of pressure kind of growing on the management team,
the board,
the people running the club. Exactly, a lot of really funny comments being directed toward the board in terms of how to run a business. Like, if you don't run it well, you lose money. You then go out of business, and I'm like,
obviously,
there's some interesting people out there who think they know it all, but. Where do you think the problems are stemming from in Falkirk at the moment, John? Why has it all come crumbling to a halt now?
Well, I agree with the psycho guy who was at the Falkirk Meet the Manager thing who was absolutely slated the board.
Oh!
Whose name will remain anonymous.
Well, will it?
I began with a Jai.
A certain member of said podcast.
No, it's all stemmed from them. And Houston, whose recruitment has been dreadful.
Well, I mean, I think, recruitment has been a big issue. The recruitment this year was Loy, who was unwanted by Dundee. They've paid a lot of money for him, and he's still yet to score a goal in a Falkirk shirt, I believe.
Yep,
this season. Harris was a bit of a risk. He actually seems to be paying off, playing a bit better.
He's looked a wee bit better, but it couldn't get much worse. I think he's one of these kind of confidence guys as well, who's been torn to shreds, Hibs in particular. Beyond that, he started the season with 4 centre-backs, no full-backs, relying on a 17-year-old left-back, which was a disaster.
He still looks terrible, Tony Gallagher.
This
was a guy linked with Chelsea and Barcelona at one point. That's some interesting scouting there, I'll point out. But
he's pretty horrific. He then proceeded to sign 2 more centre-backs, so we had 6 centre-backs in the books. Again, no full-backs. 4 centre-mids, only 1 or 2 wingers. Hippolyte and Harris was your only 2 wide men. Relying on Loy to score goals. It's just a...
Who's responsible for the recruitment, though? I mean, is it the manager? Is it...
It's going to be Houston. He's the one that... He'll be given a budget and it's up to him to go and get them.
I'm guessing there's not even any scouting system anymore or anything for him to work with.
I mean, most of the players that we've signed all come from like a 20-mile radius of the stadium.
I was doing some reading up on for the quiz letter for FIFA, and I was looking for old Falkirk players, and most of them were Partick Thistle rejects.
Is that right? Yeah.
Like Muirhead, Craigan, and Ballatoni.
Ballatoni played for Partick as well. That was a championship winning season. Was Muirhead and Ballatoni as our 2 centre backs.
Right. Well, each and every one of them received a downgrade in FIFA. And I think the trend has continued to spiral since then.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I mean, I guess there's no point in us like lambasting everything that's kind of wrong.
No, I'm depressed as it is. So
what solutions? Because you've seen Falkirk a few times. Have you seen Falkirk this season?
I've seen them a couple of times. Yeah. Yeah.
How would you solve the problem? Do you think? What would you do?
I'm not sure. Like personally, I'm surprised that Peter Houston's still on the job.
Okay, so you sack the manager.
So because I think they need a new person leading them to drive them forward. Because I think I can't see the outball. I can't see how it's going to progress at Falkirk with him in charge. Because I think he's done his stunt now, and I think he needs to move on.
He's done a phenomenal job, I think, over the last few seasons with a team that wasn't really ready to compete against Rangers, against Hibs, against Dundee United, against Hearts, and yet they've been there. They've been fighting in amongst them, and I think he's very dejected in that he's tried a lot of things and nothing's come off.
He came in at a very awkward time for him. If he had came in afresh this season, for example, I think it would have been a different story. In terms of,
he would have walked out because the contract wouldn't have been worth that much.
He would have had the kind of new manager boost. I mean, the biggest problem with Falkirk at the moment is that we've suffered so much nearly moments in the last 3 or 4 seasons, that.
But that's kept the fans happy up until this point.
It's kept the kind of happy clappers happy, but ultimately though, you've get to a stage now where you just know the failure's round the corner.
Yeah.
And you're waiting on it. And there's not that kind of winning mentality anywhere in amongst that squad anymore. They've suffered enough.
I mean, there's certainly an atmosphere, about the place.
There's tension. There's anger building, and
between the fans, between the players.
The whole thing just needs to be kind of, well, not torn up and begin again. That's impossible. But there has to be a kind of fresh face coming in somewhere, whether it's the board, whether it's in the dugout. Maybe they're sort of bringing in a Ballatoni and McGee. Would they bring a
Jordan McGee, of course,
bit of freshness to the squad? But
I think that was in sheer desperation after what they saw from the centre backs pairings at the start of the season.
Pretty much.
And it's good that they did go and correct that, but they're now left with a lot of dead weight.
I mean, they're sitting with 2 or 3 wages there that unfortunately are being used up by folk that aren't good enough, and we can't get rid of them because nobody wants them.
I think for a lot of people point fingers at the board. I think the board can only do so much. It's definitely the footballing side of things.
The board, I've got a lot to answer for in terms of where in the hell all the money went. They splashed out a lot of money when they really didn't need to. In terms of the budget went up, say 50% during the time of Hearts, Rangers and Hibs being in the league. Why did they do that?
No, but that was to compete during.
Why would you compete against that?
But it was good. Wasn't it? Did you not enjoy that kind of Hibernian playoff?
But when you look at it and you go, what a waste of money, what a stupid thing to do. Like,
shit,
honestly, the playoffs are the worst thing that could ever happen to Falkirk. Because it's given out, it's just a big scapegoat now. It's aiming for promotion. Okay, well that means finishing 4th then, and you just fight your way through the playoffs, and it's a nearly moment.
Oh no, it could be in a separate batch of playoffs this year to go down at this point in time.
I mean, I've never been to Arbroath in East 5, so I'm quite looking forward to that.
Well, Wraith didn't enjoy the visit of was it Brecon?
Aye.
I noticed that. Yeah.
Playoffs. Yep.
So and then boom, down.
So yeah, maybe joining them.
I certainly think, for me, look at the footballing side of things. The reason Falkirk were good in the past was they just brought in so many good young players.
They brought in hungry individuals. We're now bringing in journeymen.
Yes.
Who are all 26, 27 and
I think
mediocre.
That's the sign of the times. When they were bringing in these good young players, they were a Premiership team. They were able to go to Arsenal and say, can we have Anthony Stokes? They were able to go to Leicester City, and that's where Schmeichel and would it have been was it Preston at the time?
Who?
Schmeichel.
Yeah, Schmeichel came from Man City.
They come from Man City.
Yeah.
Right. And just players of those ilk, and then even the academy was good to bring through.
The academy brought in 3 or 4 good players. The biggest problem with the recent seasons with the academy is they sold them far too soon. I can understand why, because you don't know if they're going to develop or not.
Yeah.
You take the 250 grand plus the add-on. Job's a good one, really. But they've now depleted that resource.
Yeah.
And they're having to replace it with mediocre championship players.
And
it's not a good combination.
And pretty much everyone around them's made better signings.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, you look at again another surprise package this season, Livingston, who are going to be playing in the quarterfinals of the Betfred Cup
Tuesday night.
And Tuesday night, they're playing like Celtic or something.
No, they're home Hibs. Yeah, no, they're away to Hibs. That's Easter Road.
So that's a bit brutal. They made a few signs in the summer. that's really come off. Livingston look a much better team this
They're
season.
doing well, yeah. I've been impressed by it.
Another stadium sponsorship, our favourite. Tony Maguire.
Yes, that's the best one.
It's never been. There's a horrendous advert for it on the radio, like that's sung in Italian. It's absolutely dire.
They always do
Not
that.
give me a rendition, no.
No, I don't wish that upon anybody. But that's a team with a much more lower fan base, maybe better facilities. It's I don't know if the stadium's decent, but
It's okay, yeah. I've been a couple of times.
yeah, and why you look at your own club and say, why couldn't we do that? And I think for me, just the language coming from a lot of people is, we can't do this, we don't have the budget, or there's excuses.
There's an excuse that comes in, and it's a fair enough excuse, but where's the solution to that? You have to have a balance to it.
I think you need to have some clever ideas, and I don't know what these clever ideas are. It's maybe looking somewhere that others aren't, and there's a lot of clever ideas going about the club, maybe commercially and things like that to keep things going. But on the footballing side of things, like one of the things I saw recently on Sky was like Jamie Vardy started his own academy.
Oh, yes.
I think V9 it's called. And the idea behind this academy is...
bringing more people through like him.
Well, exactly like him.
Yeah.
So non-league guys who are not on professional contracts, but could be talented guys, to get them on professional contracts. And you saw with Dundee this season, the boy Deacon, Rory Deacon, came from Sutton United.
Yeah, it was a non-league team.
Yeah, came from
Sure, it
non-league
was
team.
Sutton, yeah.
He's one of their best players.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be that hard to attract one of those guys to a team like Falkirk? I don't
The
think it
attraction
would.
to Falkirk itself is probably not difficult. It's the kind of what they expect from it. If they want to, because we probably need to pay for their accommodation, and it's things like that.
There's plenty of space in the stadium. Just put them in with the new barras. They have some WKD to drink while they're...
It's part of the East.
Sorted.
The East Stand development should have like a housing for your loan players.
Plenty of residential caravans floating about. They're right there.
The bog's just across the road.
If they ever want to have a wee practice, it can only help everybody here. The facilities are available right next to it. So I would like to see something like that. For the moment,
All very stale.
it is all very stale. But we know sacking a manager is an expensive thing in this day and age.
Yeah.
And his Houston's pride's too much for him to just walk away.
Yes, but he's a very experienced manager, and
Experience counts if you've actually done something with it.
I did see on a kind of speculation sort of Instagram account that if they were to replace him, Alan Stubbs was one of the names
Is that right,
being
yeah?
floated about, and I thought,
Can you imagine?
the scenes at Falkirk if Alan Stubbs.
That's up there with like Yogi coming back. Like,
I think Yogi's going to sign his name on a dotted line there, but so we'll wait and see. We keep our fingers crossed. John's season ticket holder.
I think I'll beat the one game.
Well,
I was at the Queen of the South drubbing,
that was bad.
which was a good day because I think I had like Queen of the South and -2 at 16-1. I was like,
Yeah.
what a day, by the way.
I do help out with the stadium announcing at Falkirk, and the goal came so fast against Queen of the South that you weren't paying attention. You're like,
Missed that.
is that 14? I think it's 14. I don't know, could it be 14? And so that was a bad day. But we shall continue on and see. So I guess well done to the likes of Livingston. If Dunfermline go up, that's the closest rivalry, so there'll
That's
be a
even
lot of
worse.
anger.
That'll really kick off.
I had a good win against St Mirren,
A
didn't
very good win against. It's a big one.
Yeah.
At the moment, at least.
Dunfermline are looking good.
But the
He's
thing
going to
is,
say that, but it does. Joe Cardle in particular is a good player.
he's been there for a long time,
He
has
has,
he not?
he's just getting a wee bit better this season. I think it's a swan song for him.
There's a lot of consistency actually at Dunfermline. They've just kind of stuck with him over the years.
Aye, I mean,
Who's the manager there now?
Alan Archibald,
All right.
I think.
That's a pretty good manager.
Aye, no.
No,
Alan
he's another
Johnson.
Partick manager.
It's Alan Johnson.
Alan
Or
Johnson.
Archibald. But I get mixed up between the two of them.
Okay. So there's a good manager there.
They're called
we
Alan.
presume.
That's all that matters.
Jack Ross's St Mirren kind of
He's
right
a
on the
5-4,
high.
aye.
He was a big Dundee fan, I think, growing up.
Was he?
Aye.
Doesn't he get any better?
So, aye. There we go. And we'll obviously keep you abreast of that throughout the season. Anyway, to sunnier shores, I think it's time to hear a bit about La Liga, Darren.
La Liga, yes.
What's been going on there? I've not really kept up much.
Yeah,
Apart
well,
from the midweek story about a certain Real Madrid midfielder,
Oh. Yes.
the Marco
Yes.
Asensio,
the
the terrible injury.
Yeah.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire,
Was it? No, Gillette's not the best my man can get anyway.
the best infection it'll give you when you're shaving your legs.
I know, it's a sad day when that's what it's came to. But,
It's
but-
quite good for like aerodynamics.
What, shaving your legs?
Well, you know, like swimmers like completely shave before they do the Olympics.
I have heard that. Yeah,
It's like that's what footballers
That's
do now.
through water. Footballers are running through.
Footballers,
Yeah.
yeah.
Unless you're running
a wee bit of difference.
If he's running at 120 mile an hour, fine. Otherwise, nut. Anywho,
Yeah,
Dan,
it'd be interesting to see if he's back against Sociedad.
Oh, well, he could,
If he's recovered.
the manicure might go wrong, my nails.
Yeah, so kicking off with Barcelona, we had a 2-1 victory for Barca against Getafe. Getafe back in the league. I was actually quite impressed by them because they went, obviously they just came back. They went down a couple of seasons ago, but they have came back pretty strong. It was a screamer of a goal actually. You should try and check it out for Getafe for the opener. The Japanese international, his name's actually escaped me. I think it was Shibaski, I think. But it was a screamer on the edge of the box. And basically it was a volley and outstanding, really good goal, one of the better goals I've seen this season. But Barca did come back. Denis Suarez with the goal to make it 1-1. And then in the end, quite funny, I don't know if you heard who won the game for Barca. It was Paulinho.
Oh, really?
The person who got all the slagging.
Tottenham's worst ever signing or something like that.
Yeah, Paulinho. Really good goal actually. It basically used his... it was different for Barca with a bit of physical power. So he nudged the guy off the ball and basically scored a screamer goal too. Nice finish there. But no, he's actually done quite well. Paulinho's came off the bench a couple of times, but I like that they've actually got a couple of different options this season, because last season that was where they went wrong. Basically, they had brought in people like Gomez and things who hadn't really made much of an impact, but Paulinho's done well. Dembele's done quite well so far. He has been giving the ball away quite a lot, but the sad thing...
That's what you want from your 120 million.
Yeah, exactly, aye. But he has looked really fast and pacey, and he's definitely great with assists so on. He's already had a couple of them so far, but the bad news is he is actually going to be out for 3 to 4 months. Because he got he got injured in the game yesterday, so... So after that massive signing, we're not going to see him for another 3 or 4 months.
Sensational.
So he's out. But it was a good game, to be honest, and I think compared to last season, that was the sort of game that I could see Barcelona losing, because they had a lot of 0-0s or draws against like Malaga and who else was it? It was Alaves, so on, sort of teams like Getafe, and they've actually went and won that game. So it was good to see that that they had actually a bit of power there to go and win that game. And then Real Madrid, they're playing tonight, so we'll need to wait to see how that goes. They're playing Real Sociedad, who are actually at the top of the league, well, equal top with Barca. So if Real Sociedad get that win, they would be equal top again, but you would probably expect a response from Real Madrid after a couple of draws against Levante and Valencia, which kind of the reverse of Barca last season. They had a few draws. So we'll need to wait and see how that goes. The other news from this weekend was that Atletico Madrid played their first game in their new stadium against UA Malaga. Say UA Malaga. So they had the 1-0 victory. It was Griezmann again with the goal.
Sorry, you'll need to explain what I did there.
Yeah, basically doing the Griezmann gesture there, Paul. But yeah, so... New stadium, massive stadium, really nice stadium, 67,000.
I was going to ask, it'll be fair size for the
Calderon,
Calderon, yeah.
Calderon.
I did not know that.
Aye.
Did you not know that?
News to me.
Now you do.
They've done that forever and a day, have they not?
I think they have, and I remember them saying, I think the Champions League last season, this is going to be the last in the Stadio Vicente Calderon.
Yeah.
Aye.
I always quite liked that stadium because it was right beside the water and it was in Madrid, but this one's like basically miles away compared to where that was, and it's on the edge of Madrid.
To build their football stadium miles
I know
away
exactly.
From
I
the
know.
town.
Aye, well, Aberdeen.
Poke at you, Aberdeen Football Club. Anyway.
But yeah, so the stadium's really nice actually. It reminds me a bit of the Benfica stadium actually.
It does look a bit like that.
Yeah, I've been to Benfica
really
stadium, so it does look similar, but it's really nice. I seen it last night.
They've kept
been
that
really well done.
Same structure, because they had the 3 stands connected.
That's right, yeah.
And then they've still got the gap in between, so it kind of.
It looks a wee bit like La Bombonera when you see it like that.
John's getting wistful about South American teams now. Anyway,
it does though.
It does a bit. I would agree. Yeah,
it does a wee bit, yeah. So that was So that was Atletico Madrid, good victory there, 1-0 victory against Malaga. We had Eibar, who had a 1-0 victory over against Leganés. I think Leganés are going to be one of the favourites for me to be going down this season. Eibar though, I always have a soft spot for Eibar because they've got a Scottish supporters club. So it's good to have them. Yeah, it's good to have them in the league. Levante in the Valencia derby were playing Valencia. It was 1-1 in the end. Both teams played well, to be honest, and they both had really good starts to the season. Both of them picking up a point against Real Madrid, and both of them getting good victories throughout the season so far. Levante getting a good victory on the opening day of the season against Villarreal. So both of them doing well, 7th and 8th in the league, so doing well so far. Hopefully they can continue that form. Real Betis had a 2-1 victory over Deportivo. The interesting fact in this game was we had 2 goals from Joaquim, who is now 36 years old.
Was he the former Valencia winger who then came over here to Brighton or something like that?
Joaquin? No.
Joaquin.
Yeah, it was that man. Did they come across?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
For a while.
I'm sure Valencia used to have 2 roasting wingers. It was him and Vicente.
He did play for Valencia, yeah. I can't remember him coming to England, but
I'm sure he was here for a while in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Sure of it.
I'll take your word on it.
I'll check that up for you, Paul. And then in the next game, Villarreal bounced back. They've had a poor start to the season actually, but they got a 3-0 victory over Alaves. Alaves, another team that I expect probably to go down this season if they keep the form they're doing now. But they did bring in Bojan and Munir from Barcelona, so they'll be looking.
Alright signings.
Yeah, they're okay signings. So the only thing I think,
how's Bojan still at Barca though? That's
well, they got him for Stoke, so that is saying one thing how his career's going. But for Alaves, I suppose it's good signings, but they've not had much an impact in the last couple of weeks so far. So, and as far as I'm aware, Alaves have still not scored a goal this season. So, a bit of issues there.
as bad as Falkirk.
But Villarreal doing well. Carlos Bacca at Villarreal now. He's signed from AC Milan.
Okay, right.
So good signing there.
How did they do that?
Yeah, I'm kind of figuring that out myself. He wasn't brilliant at AC Milan.
No, I know, but
I think he just fancied a move back to Spain because he did play with Seville and then he moved to AC Milan, so he's came back to Villarreal.
Crafty signing by them.
No, isn't it half?
Now, did you hear the person that left Villarreal though? Went to Turkey. Soldado, yes.
That's the only name I could have given you.
Looking for a final payday in Turkey then?
Yeah, the thing that I find funny is that their striking line is now Janssen from Tottenham. And Soldado, who's hardly the best in the world either.
You might as well have Ricky Spingham up front
At
there.
Fenerbahce.
Nathan Austin.
Wouldn't have wished that on anybody.
So Villarreal got a 3-0 victory there, so good victory for them. Girona, I've been impressed by Girona actually. They had a 1-0 defeat sadly against Seville, but Seville are coming into a bit of form now. But Girona, I tell you what, really good football. A team, if I had to recommend a Spanish team to go and watch, they play really nice football. And the only thing they struggle with is goals. So they have scored goals this season, don't get me wrong.
To go and watch, they play really nice. No goals though.
Well, no, they have scored goals. But their football is really good for the standard. Like they've just came up, right, and the standard of football they play to be playing in La Liga is actually really good. And they've not got any like standout names. So yeah, they've got a couple of Man City,
a couple of
Man City. They've scored a few. But yeah, they are a team to go and watch. I'd say if you're going to be watching any La Liga games, out with obviously the big teams. And then the last games of the weekend are Las Palmas. They were playing Bilbao, which I think was 1-0 to Las Palmas, and then it's playing now. So, and then obviously we've got Real Sociedad playing Real Madrid at the moment in our live game. And that is it really. So it's been an interesting start to the season. Barcelona 100% record. I didn't expect that at the start of the season, I must say, after their poor form in the Super Cup so on. But Real Madrid, they've had poor scores, but they're still playing well in the games. I think they've been missing Ronaldo, if I'm being honest. So now Ronaldo's coming back from his suspension. I think they'll start picking up. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes for them. Atletico Madrid can't write them off. And Seville have actually done better than what I expected. At the start of the season, had a couple of draws, and I was thinking maybe they're going to drop off this year. But they got a draw against Liverpool the other day.
They did. I thought they
were going to win it.
Yeah, and they only had 2 shots in target in that game and they scored 2 goals. So
it's good that they pushed them a bit, because other European sides like Dortmund struggled against Tottenham, and
the English team's done well actually.
Yeah, they did, which is unlike them in Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't playing much though. Like, Liverpool had probably the toughest.
Tottenham and Dortmund is up.
Dortmund are nowhere near what they were 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Then Dortmund, Seville, all teams that made the last 16 last season, didn't they?
Yes.
So, but not
still not as good as last season.
not winning as good.
Not though.
But yeah, that's your La Liga roundup.
Thank you for that, Dan. It was very good, very interesting to hear what's going on. I don't have time, to watch all these European games now.
There's so many games, eh?
So of course next week's podcast is about European football. So we look forward to that in-depth analysis.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bit of quiz. I think we've got time.
Cool.
So let's cue the music.
Yes.
It's a wee short quiz this week. I think I'll kind of cut it down a bit. It's then and now FIFA ratings I've gone for. FIFA ratings. FIFA 18 is on the horizon quite soon. The big chat this week's been about that Bruno Alves is the highest rated player in the SPFL. 78 rated centre back, which I think that's on his past glories.
Yes.
Because we'll find last year, I'm sure the highest rated was like Kolo Toure. Was that one of the only gold card? That rapidly changed.
Yes.
And he's no longer a professional footballer even, I think. So, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. And I don't think we're even sure he's the highest rated player, because he's I think he's the only player in Scotland we know the rating of.
Maybe. I would be amazed if Dembele wasn't higher than that.
I think he could be about 77, 78. This is a discussion for when the game comes out.
Indeed, yes.
Which is when's that? October time?
End of September. 29th of September.
September.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get to that. Anywho, it's so then and now. So they're old ratings compared to their ratings now. So these are players that have played in Scotland, and my first one is a player called Aaron Moy.
Aaron Moy.
Who does Aaron Moy play for now?
A clue.
Really?
Well, they play for Brighton.
Huddersfield, I think.
Oh, okay.
Huddersfield.
You know the bald Australian guy?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
The
Yeah.
bald Australian guy.
Promoted.
In FIFA 18, he's got a rating of 77. But what was his rating in FIFA 12?
FIFA 12. Oh.
Who did he play for, do we think, in 2012?
Well, he was up in Scotland somewhere.
Black and white stripes, I'll give you one guess.
St Mirren.
St Mirren.
Yeah, St Mirren.
I would see when I looked at it, I was like, is that Aaron Moy he had hair? In his ultimate team card.
Did he? Yeah.
Fair enough.
He's now very, very bald. So he's come through St Mirren at one point, which I find remarkable. So, what rating do we think it is?
64.
Ooh, Darren?
I was thinking 65.
John, you're closer. 61.
61.
So in FIFA 12, he's gone from 61 to 77. Which is a fairly good increase, actually.
Yeah, that is good.
Most of these guys haven't really gone that far. So my next one, Stevie May.
Stevie May. Oh.
Starting out at St Johnstone, ending up at Aberdeen. His most recent rating, I think in 17, is 69. Ironically. What was his rating in FIFA 12? I don't mean ironically in any sense of the word. I don't know anything about Stevie May's personal life. But what do we think his rating was in FIFA 12? John, I'll ask you.
67.
67?
I'll go for 64.
Oh, Darren, you're closer. It's 58.
58? That low? Wow.
He's gone from 58 to 69.
So was that when he was at St Johnstone?
St Johnstone, yeah. I think this was the very early days when he was a youth. And maybe,
right.
Maybe not even...
I suppose it is 12, yeah.
Another interesting one I had was Andrew Driver.
Andrew Driver.
Who did he play for?
He was an ex-Jambo.
He's a Jambo.
Yeah.
He used to be very, very highly rated in the game, English winger.
Aye, playing in America.
No. I think at last check he was playing in Denmark or Holland.
Oh, right, okay.
Grafschap, but he was playing in America for a very long time.
Yeah.
You are correct there, John. So he was in FIFA 10, 77 rated. Where did he end up in 17?
17.
Playing for the Grafschap.
Yeah. Darren, I'll ask you first.
Yeah.
77. I don't think he'll have followed his career in the MLS.
I'll go for 63.
63. John?
Because he played in the MLS, I reckon 67.
Oh, John, you're only one mark off. It's 66.
Is it?
66.
66. Well done there.
Well done, John. That's pretty.
Who else we've got? Scott Arfield. Shall we go for? We'll go for Scott Arfield.
Scott Arfield's a good one, yeah.
So where did he start off? Well, just to give me some estimations. At Falkirk, his first FIFA Ultimate Team card.
I don't know, 20.
68. Yeah,
68 was it? That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Would he been a silver then?
Yes. He was a silver card.
Okay, right.
Falkirk are a remarkably good team back then. Like
Yeah.
Higdon and stuff were all silvers. And,
Is that right?
there were some excellent players. So where did he end up in his most recent racing in FIFA 17? Playing for Burnley now, one of the... Well, I would say Scottish people flying the flag in the Premiership. He correctly defected to Canada because we weren't playing them. To play with stars such as Fraser Aird and Luca Casper. Darren, what
I think I'll go for, this might be a bit high, 75.
Okay, good guess. John?
Oh.
He's really thinking about it.
See, John builds Ultimate Teams with old Falkirk players, so I
Yeah.
would expect Arfield to be in these teams.
The only thing we were missing was a right back. Oh, God. No, I don't think it was a gold. I'm going to go for 74.
72.
Ah,
72.
72, so did you
That's
both
a bit
guess
lower than-
74?
I was 75.
Oh,
Yeah.
so 74. 72 was his rating. He kind of climbed and dropped. It was like 68, 68, 78, 70, 72. So there we go.
I wouldn't rate him that high.
No, I know. A few other ones I picked out. I'll just run through them quickly. Lee Griffiths went from 68 to 75. Hibs to Celtic. John Baird was actually in the game at one point. Striker now playing with Inverness. Dundee at 62. Ended up at 60 at Partick. Then you've got Aaron Muirhead, 63 to 62. Conrad Balatoni, 63 down to 60. James Cragen, 58 to 57. So I think we'll find those guys about in the 55s these days. If you were to rate them.
The 30s, if you're
best.
lucky.
So there we go. We're of
That was
course
good, huh?
looking forward. You're going to buy the game when it comes out, do you think?
I will be, yeah.
Yeah.
Try and no break it this time, John.
I want to point out that wasn't a thing in anger, it was just disgust.
There we go. I'm waiting for the Nintendo Switch version, which I don't even have a Switch for, so buy the.
Is that out this year, or is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So, aye, the last portable FIFA we had Falkirk in the game. So happy memories.
Sounds a bit right.
Happy memories. Anyway, I think it's time to round off with our predictions. Jonathan, what are we going for this week?
Well, the kind of usual. 2 Premiership, 2 Championship, and this week we're going for a League 2 team as well.
Let's start for the L2 teams.
Okay, so first up, before we go from bottom up, we'll go Stirling Albion versus.
I don't know anything about your personal life, John, but okay.
You've got to buy me dinner.
I'll go for 2-1 Stirling.
Stirling against you, sorry?
Annan.
Annan. See, I think Annan had an arrow win, didn't they? Sterling, I think
they're
had a
doing
thumping
okay.
one, though, yeah.
Stirling on top of the league.
2-0 Sterling for me. Did you go 2-1 down?
I did, yeah.
Cool. John?
I'm going to go for 4-0 to the Albion.
To the Albion.
He says as if he knows.
To the Rhinos.
Our next game,
St Mirren versus Queen of the South, which is a Sunday at 4 o'clock.
live on BBC Alba for nobody's viewing pleasure.
Painful viewing.
I know.
You go first this time, Paul?
2-1 because Stephen Dobie will score.
I'll go for 3-1 St Mirren.
Ooh. I'm going to go for a 1 each draw.
You never know. You just never know.
Yeah. What's the next one, John?
Next one is Dundee United versus Green at Morton. I don't know why I said Green at Morton, just Morton.
That's their official title, I think. See, Morton have been the comeback kids at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing quite well.
1-0 Morton.
Morton? Oh.
Yeah.
Because Dundee United are at home, I'll go for 2-0 Dundee United.
2-0. See, I want to say Morton will win, but I am maybe nothing each.
Okay.
No.
None each.
0-0.
Same as the Falkirk Dundee United game.
What's the next one?
Next one we've got Kilmarnock versus Dundee.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Could be a really tough game.
Yeah. I think I'll go for 1-1 in this one, actually.
That's a fair shout, to be fair.
1-0 Kelly.
Oh. I'm actually going for
Big
the
one.
reverse.
No
The
one.
reverse.
0-1. 0-1.
And last but not least,
We have the Old Firm game.
Oh, the big one.
It's at Ibrox.
8-0 Celtic.
Really?
Nice, put it in.
I must take your first answers.
Well, I've gone first the rest of the time, so I'm waiting to hear
Right.
what you guys have to say.
Right, well, I'm going 4-1 Celtic.
I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for 2.
I will link this bit out in particular.
I'll go for 2-0 Celtic.
See, the thing is, they did get a draw off them last season, right?
Uh-huh.
But then they did draw with Partick Thistle. So,
This is the biggest test that Kashuni will face.
I think 3-1 Celtic. I'm going to just cut John's prediction. Trim it a wee bit short. And hope that I've undercut him. Of course, it'll be 3-2 and I'll be like, "Darr!"
I'll see if it does get to that. I'll be climbing the walls.
So I guess that rounds us off nicely there.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Next week, we'll be going over some European football and talking about football tourism on next week's show. So if you've made it to the end, thank you very much for joining. From myself, Paul.
Thanks for listening, everybody. From Darren.
Cheers, guys. All the best.
Bye-bye.